Hey there, and welcome back. I said I wanted to do a little bit on posture, and so that's what I want to talk about now. So, um, I don't want to get into too many details, and don't let posture become one thing with meditation, like, you become completely obsessed about your posture, because that can definitely happen. So, that's the point of meditation, is not to have perfect posture or to somehow make this a whole physical posture thing. Just having a little bit of attention when we first sit down can help us have, first of all, a much more comfortable meditation practice, because we don't have so much tension in our bodies. It can also be a great sort of entry point to bringing our bodies into the meditation. When we have an awareness about everything that's going on, part of that awareness is I'm living in a body. And so that can it can also be a good piece of sort of entry point to being aware of what's going on in our bodies. But I think mostly we just want to have a sense of connection to the ground, stability, that really helps with stillness. If our bodies can be more still, then it's easier to see the mind and what's going on in the mind. So a sense of connection to the ground, or groundedness. It's just a general sense of sort of being vertical, uplifted, kind of good posture. It doesn't have to, or like say upright spine, not super stiff and tight. And then the last piece is kind of like open and relaxed head. And we can sit in either a chair or on the floor. I like to sit on a cushion. Some people don't like that. Whatever feels comfortable to you is fine. You can try different things. It's a playground. Go for it. So when I sit in a chair, I like just to have my feet kind of in front of me. Sense of solidness. One thing I notice in this chair is that let me grab another cushion and see if I can do it. My hips we're getting like below my knees, and when you're sitting, and anyways, actually, even if you're sitting at your desk, but I find it personally helpful to have my knees a little bit below my hips, and the reason for that is if our hips are kind of tilted backwards, and we're in this mode, then it's really hard to have a vertical spine. And if we try to have a vertical spine, then we're pulling with all our back muscles, and you'll get a really sore back if you're sitting to meditate, even for 5 minutes. But certainly if you're starting to meditate longer and longer, you'll get really sore in your back from trying to pull and be up straight. So then that becomes like all muscles pulling us up and not our spine. So to the extent you can have, your hips tilted forward a little bit, or your pelvis tilted forward a little bit, that will help to have your spine kind of stacked up and not have to use so much muscle to do it. So when I sit in a chair, I just sit down. I can feel the ground beneath my feet. I know my chair is resting on something solid, which happens to be a piece of plywood in the forest. I can feel that solidity, that ground below me. My spine feels, pretty good. Pretty much kind of stacked up. It's holding my body. Relaxed up here. And then my head is just relaxed and kind of balancing on the whole thing. I like to keep my eyes open when I meditate, which maybe I can say a little bit more of. I'll also show you here on the cushion some different variations. So sometimes when I'm sitting on a cushion like this, I like to sit on my knees. That really helps, especially with that pelvic tilt. I just find it easier on my knees to find my pelvis is kind of tipped forward. but I don't always. Sometimes I also sit cross-legged. I like to put something under my ankles because my ankles aren't that flexible, and otherwise they can get really sore. You can sit kind of with your legs crossed like this, just crisscross applesauce. Or some people like to sit with their legs really like all the way down like this. That can give a very stable feeling. Or for a lot of us to spend a lot of times in chairs, especially, and like not that much movement and flexibility in all our hips and knees and those joints, that can feel pretty uncomfortable. So the point is not to put yourself in some sort of burdensome posture. We're here to kind of just work with our awareness and our experience. So it's not about having a perfect posture or anything like that. But anyway, so the posture on the ground, for me feels like I can really feel solid. The ground's below me. I feel really solid in this position. My spine stacked up. Could you do something with your hands? So your hands can either go on your knees. Some people put it in there. I just like to have it on my knees. That's relaxing for me. Shoulders, just not like really coming back, not slumping forward, just relax. Then my neck is also vertical and relaxed, kind of continuing. Wow, that bird came close. Then just kind of continuing. And then I can feel my skull is just centered on top of that. It's nice and relaxed in my neck. Kind of almost like it's balancing on top of all my spine and neck. And the last pieces are, what did you do with your mouth? Is it open? Is it closed? I like to check in with my jaw and my mouth and my tongue, because a lot of times that's where we carry a lot of tension. And so I just like to check in and make sure that stuff's all relaxed. If you need a place to put your tongue, I put it right behind my, like kind of where my gums and teeth meet, in the back of my teeth. Oh, and the last one is eyes, what to do with your eyes. Some people like to sit with their eyes closed. I found that if I sit with my eyes closed, it makes my meditation very inward, and I can almost close down, or if I'm in a really great meditation feeling that it kind of gets a little too cozy, and then I'm like, start to really cultivate and cling onto that meditation feeling that I have, like, oh, that's such a cozy, nice meditation feeling, and I'm just so into it, or I get really prideful, oh, I'm doing such a good meditation, whatever, and it just makes it less open and free for me to have my eyes closed. So I like to keep my eyes open, and where to put my eyes, well, I'm not going to just stare, because then that is also kind of grabbing on. So I'm just going to let my eyes relax. They're maybe 3 feet or 6 feet in front of me, something like that. And yeah, I'm not looking at anything in particular. In fact, actually, I can see so far around me. I can see my eyelashes. It's just my eyes, my vision is just relaxed, totally open, and then let whatever comes in. It's okay. So that's kind of something about posture. I just thought of something. To not make it too stiff. It's not that you find the perfect posture and then like, okay, now I really want to grab onto that because I found the one. For me, that hasn't been very helpful. That ends up just making me really stiff and tense. What actually helps better for me is just put some attention on it in the beginning and then almost forget about it, unless it comes up again in my practice. Then all of a sudden I think, wow, I'm really feeling very tense in my shoulders. Then you can just bring your awareness to that for a second. And usually the second you bring your awareness to it, relax, let go. And if it gets to be really tense, then just start again. That's okay. And sometimes if I start feeling really uncomfortable in one position, then, well, I just switch positions. I'll switch to my knees. I'll switch to a chair, whatever. So anyways, that's something about posture. The basic things to remember are, it's not all about your posture. Your posture is there in support of your meditation practice. And your posture has basically three components. One is to feel grounded. The other one's to feel some sort of upliftedness. And the last one is kind of relaxed and open. And so that's something on posture.